Hey there, everybody. Welcome to a new Blacklist theory discussion. And we're only a few days removed from the premiere now, where we learned for the first time about the existence of N-13. The funny thing is, it's like this is one of the only things we can talk about now related to the show. We had no idea about it not that long ago.
Nope, but now we do.
Here is N-13, everyone. We have solved the mystery. Coco Vanderwolf, you have been N-13 this whole time.
How dare you?
Spoiler alert, everyone. The Sikorsky archive is really just a box of dog treats. Sorry to disappoint.
That's right.
But what we are going to talk about in this video is, is Reddington really N-13? It's one of those things floated out there, possibly by Katarina, that he helped to set up this archive in the first place. But we know that not everything in the Blacklist is as it seems. We're going to talk through some possibilities here.
Yes.
Before we do, if you guys do enjoy this video, subscribe for more updates. We have all sorts of Blacklist coverage up already, and of course, we're going to keep that going.
And make sure that you're following us on Instagram so that you can see more photos of our little N-13 right here. And that's at Matt and Jess TV.
Yeah, her stories are just as good as Reddington's, by the way.
Right. All right, so is Reddington N-13? That's one of the things that Katarina seemed to suggest, either him or Dom. But was she lying? I mean, she's not someone that's been around for the whole show. She's been around a little more often lately, obviously, and nobody can really trust her. She lies to everybody. So is it possible she's lying to Liz? Yes, and it's probably a bunch of sort of half-truths of this. I mean, it could be that Reddington's N-13. It could be Dom. It could be Katarina. Who knows?
But I think the most important thing is that idea of, okay, maybe there's a little bit of truth to what she's saying, but at the same time, maybe there's either things she is omitting or distorting. Like, we can think back to Rosvet and the story that was told about Ilya. Like, there was truth to that story. There was just also a big ol' fat lie at the end of it that sent us careening down the wrong side of information for a long period of time.
Yes, Katarina as a narrator is not the most trustworthy.
So, one of the ideas that I've thought a little bit about over these past few days is Reddington may be N-13, but what if he's actually doing this not because he wants to help the KGB or anyone else, but rather because he has no real choice? If we wanted to go down the road of that Katarina, it's a fake Katarina, we don't like her, what if the real Katarina is off somewhere, basically being held hostage or threatened because we know Reddington is a character capable of great love, and he loves Liz, and I want to think that if he is doing some shady stuff that's keeping him from disclosing this devastating secret, that he's doing it with love as a motivator, where he doesn't want to get Liz hurt, but he also doesn't want anything to happen to the real Katarina, and he may see this in his mind as the only way to keep it clammed up to try to preserve the lives of everyone.
Especially since Liz can't keep a secret to save her life. She learned this secret about Reddington and Ilya, and she told everybody. So, I mean, he may not be able to actually trust her with the secret, and he just may not want to trust anybody further with this secret besides someone like Adembe. So the other theory that we were kind of wondering about going along with this is if Reddington is N-13 and that maybe there is something that's being held, dangling in front of him, like do this or else, is that maybe it's actually Liz's life that he's been trying to protect, because we know that he loves her, cares for her, has done so many things over these seasons to protect her and make sure that she's all right. So if he's N-13 and someone is threatening him to be like, you have to continue doing this or we're going to kill Liz, and he was like, okay, well then I better turn myself in, work with this task force. So I'm working very closely with her so that I can continue to do what I have to do, but I can also keep an eye on Liz and protect her at the same time.
There's a lot about this that makes some sense to me, mostly because we know already that Reddington has been willing to put up with a number of betrayals by Liz. And I think for a lot of other people, you would walk away from that at some point. But, if Reddington does care as much about her as he does, and he knows that her life may be threatened seemingly if he's not there, if this theory holds water, he may be willing to put up with a little bit more betrayal, I think, than most other people, and that could be a really big component of what is going on here.
Yeah.
It's also, another part of this is just the Dembe part of it, where Dembe has encouraged Reddington to spill the beans, and I've kind of wondered for a while, and I know a lot of you guys have too, with this idea of maybe Reddington is training Liz. Like, there's already been suggestions about, is Liz going to take over his empire and all of that. Maybe Reddington eventually plans on telling her the truth, but not until she's quote-unquote ready to handle it. I don't know when Liz is ready, because if she hasn't met that criteria already, what is the criteria?
Yeah, my feeling is if it's maybe something like that, that Reddington knows that there are threats around him as N-13, and if he is actually training Liz to, say, be the next N-13, then he needs to make sure that all of those threats have been eliminated, maybe through his blacklist, through all these other things, to make sure that it's safe enough for her to be able to pick up the reins. And obviously, Liz's FBI agent, she has started to go down this darker path where she could be being groomed to go into this darker path. You know, when he first met up with her, he's not going to be able to go in. She's a bright-eyed FBI agent, be like, so this is what we're doing. I'm training you to do this sort of dark, devious stuff so you can take over for me. This is something that was going to need to take years of training.
One of the other things I've heard a few people say in the comments, and I've seen it on a couple other places, like, what if Liz is in 13 and she just doesn't even know it and she's got these secrets implanted in her brain? Isn't that the storyline of Chuck? Like, I love Chuck, but I don't know if you can do the government secrets in someone's brain again, but who knows? But the other main thing we wanted to talk through here is, what if N-13 is really working for America? And maybe Katarina's like, you know, there's this organization out there, there's this person, they've set up this archive, and she's just trying to make it seem like they're the bad people. What if they're actually just the good guys, and she's just intentionally giving Liz the wrong idea?
Yeah, because this might, again, you know, Katarina's not very reliable as a narrator, so her saying, you know, this is a blackmail archive, that may not be true. It may be something else. It might be that N-13 is collecting Russian intelligence and is giving it to the American government to try to help them, or something along those lines. And maybe Katarina is still working for the Russian government. It's like, okay, we need to get our hands on N-13. We need to know what has been told to the American government so that we can deal with it on this other end.
And maybe Reddington is reporting to some higher official. Like, we've probably mentioned the name Neville Townsend in these videos more than the Blacklist has actually mentioned it, but I still think this character is out there, and I kind of imagine them as like some shadowy figure in the government who talks like this. I am Neville Townsend. I am... that sounds evil. Maybe he's not evil, but...
Well, I also think or feel that if this is the way that they're going, that Cooper has to be in on this. And he is, you know, the head of this task force, but he is working with all kinds of people higher up, higher up, higher up. I feel like he would keep this secret. He would have to know what they're dealing with if, say, Reddington is working in a deeper sort of mole type way with the American government. Cooper has to know.
I would love it if Cooper knew. Like, I just...
Oh, me too.
I just want one of these people on the task force, other than Liz, to have, like, just some sort of, like, thing that they're keeping where they have more information rather than just being sort of sent around in circles over and over again.
Yeah, and I feel like if anyone should know, it should be him. And if anyone can keep that secret, it is him.
Yeah, Cooper's good at his job, clearly. We've seen him do this for a very long period of time.
Okay, so the other theory we have is, you know, could N-13 be a double agent? And he's setting up the KGB for later peril.
It's an interesting idea, because it's sort of a, what if, let's say, you know a secret that Morkies are awesome, which we already clearly know this because we have Coco. But, you know, it's supposed to be kept secret, but you're a double agent. You got to pass that along. Maybe Reddington goes to the KGB and it's like, Morkies are awesome, guys. But then he goes back and tells the government, by the way, I told them this. So he's giving maybe the KGB, if they've got something over him or he has to do a job for them, he's giving them this false impression of, I've given you guys the upper hand, when really we know what they're sort of doing the whole time. This this is kind of complicated, but The Blacklist, it's a complicated show. They do weird stuff sometimes.
Yeah, it is.
So I think all of this is kind of sort of in play. We don't know if season 8 is going to be the final season as of yet. I don't know if they're giving us the identity stuff soon, but I hope that they give us something in the next episode about either who N-13 is and whether or not they even still have control of the archive. Because we saw Ilya was just like freaking the you-know-what out about this archive last season.
Yeah, for sure. And then we've seen the promo for the next episode where Dom was like, I have told her everything. So, I mean, there should hopefully be some answers and hopefully not just some editing promo trickery that's going to send me into a spiral at the end of the episode where I'm like, you guys lied to me again.
We see you, NBC. We know what you're doing. We know what you do to us, Blacklist. Okay, well,
we love it.
We do, and yet here we are. Let's hear from you guys. Does any of this appeal to you as a theory? Do you think Reddington's N-13? Do you think Katarina's even telling the truth about N-13 in the first place?
She's a liar.
Give us the goods in the comments, and if you do like this video, give us a like, subscribe, support us further. Tell us if Morkies are awesome. That is a secret no one needs to keep hidden. Support us. Check those links to the store, our Patreon, and we'll see you here next time.